but we're gonna try to light a little bit of a fire underneath them right now and see what they can do in a much shorter period of time. So actually, everyone, we need a little audience participation in this. And if you wouldn't mind, look under your seat, and 10 people should have an item of food under their seat. Your old coffee cup doesn't count. It should be wrapped up. So like if it's like, oh, someone else's pork belly from breakfast this morning, don't bring that up here. Thank you. We have one. And if you just run them up here, it'd be great. Okay, is that it? How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And so, chefs? Hello. Okay, so we wanted to bring the chefs back up, and we wanted to throw these ingredients at them. Not literally, although I can do that too if it makes them more excited. And what we're going to do now is ask them to open these mysterious ingredients, and they will each pick one of their choosing. And then they have to think about what they would do if they were making a dish with those 4 ingredients right now. So it's, you know, it's holiday time. Open up.
We don't even know. We just have to pick it, not knowing what it is.
Yeah. You don't get to know what it is. You just take the package and then open it up. You had 75 ingredients on your dish. You'll do fine.
Where's that warm one?
There is a warm one. Again, that's a little freaky.
Can we just do like white elephant? I'll take that.
Yeah.
You get this one.
This is going to turn to a key party.
Yeah. We all right? Opening all of them?
Yes, please. So,
Oh, chickpea flour.
Chef Brioza has raw milk.
Yeah.
Chef Falkner has chickpea flour. Chef Connaughton has pomegranates.
Palm sugar?
Oh, wait, you opened all up now.
Are we opening all of them or no?
We asked you. You said yes. It's your fault.
He just doesn't even.
I meant open the ones you picked. Okay, so now we have pomegranates, wild honeycomb, black garlic. What's this guy?
Palm sugar?
Palm
Maybe?
sugar.
Palm sugar.
Horseradish?
I think it's parsnip root.
Chicory.
Chicory.
Chicory root.
Chicory root.
Gobo.
Oh, more burdock. More burdock. And here's one.
Oh, great.
I
Lovely.
like that too.
Yeah.
But we can make something right now with all that. Right?
That looks ominous. Oh, okay. All right.
Is that antifreeze?
Whey.
Oh, whey.
What is it?
So, chefs,
No way.
you should pick 4 of these ingredients. And you should do it with a spirit of generosity towards your other chefs, and also self-preservation, knowing that you'd have to make ingredient with the 4 ingredients that you're all choosing right now.
So we each choose one.
Each choose one.
Can I taste this?
So.
I know. Yeah. What does that smell like?
It's pretty basic.
Yeah.
So as you're choosing these ingredients, think about how you would put them, what you would do with them, what other of your pantry items you might use them with, what techniques, what traditions you might draw on for inspiration, and what is the dish that you would do. And as you give yourself a minute to kind of think about it, and then I'll come back to you and we'll just kind of talk through what that dish would be.
Just highlighting the one ingredient. Right?
The four that you're
4.
choosing
All right.
in one dish. And you can talk about like why you would choose these ingredients
okay, well.
with one another.
Okay, so I think gobo, I mean, in terms of what we have in front of us, gobo or chickpea flour, if we were to make like a polenta style,
Pennies.
yeah, pennies exactly.
Pennies, yeah.
But gobo, I think, amongst our ingredients, has the most capacity to be the centerpiece. So just peeled and some really beautifully braised stalks. We could put it in the pressure cooker and do a dish in 5 minutes, but I know we're just talking. So voila, that is my choice.
Sticking with your milk?
I am, yeah. I'm sticking with milk. I'm going to channel my wife's talents here and what she would really kind of think. And, Clairvale raw milk is something that I absolutely love. And if anybody's had the opportunity to drink this, it's amazing. And I would really want to represent the rawness of the milk, so I wouldn't cook it. Instead, I would freeze it in a way, of making kind of like a milk granita of sorts, and kind of go the dessert route of, kind of a raw milk granita, pomegranates, and wildflower honey.
You don't know
Would
if
be
those are the
that.
other
What's
ingredients.
that?
You don't know if those are the
You don't
other
know? Yeah,
ingredients
yeah.
yet.
What's that?
We haven't chosen yet.
Yeah, we got.
Oh, we haven't chosen. Oh, I'm
And
just
now
creating a
you-
dish. I'm way ahead of you guys. Come on, let's catch up here, please.
No, you start, but you have to add this to your dish now.
Oh,
Black
okay.
garlic.
All right. Well, now we're getting kind of silly.
Wait, so do we
I
have the
think,
4 ingredients that you? So
I-
milk,
I think we
gobo,
do. Yeah.
black
milk,
garlic,
Okay, milk gobo. All right.
and pomegranates.
Yep.
Can I
Okay,
change
so
my
now
ingredient?
you have milk. Chef Brioza, you have milk, gobo, black garlic, and pomegranates. Go.
Okay. Milk gobo, black garlic, and
I think,
pomegranate.
yes. So
Okay, so
it's. I mean, in terms of I think conceptualizing a dish when you have this little time, it's always I think it's always the idea of you select the centerpiece, you select a condiment or a sauce, you select the garnish, and then you build from there. So you have your parameters, and then build it out. So
I'm with you.
yeah.
so
We're still in the dessert mode.
refresh me here. Well,
Yes.
no, I can't go dessert with black
Oh,
garlic.
you can.
No,
Very
I
sweet.
can't go there. That's just way too deep space for me.
What if you put
Milk
charcoal
granita
in the
idea.
garlic?
Yeah. All right. So okay, I'm working with gobo, pomegranate,
Gobo.
black garlic, and milk. And you want a
should.
dish out of this.
We should.
Okay, raw milk ricotta, gobo, burdock, caramelized with black garlic, and I think I would probably just do a very light pomegranate vinaigrette. Yeah, pomegranate juice,
Pomegranate
something like that.
Okay.
Ricotta sitting underneath, the burdock that's kind of glazed, it's with the black garlic, roasted, glazed, and then just a very simple few drops of fresh pomegranate juice mixed with a little olive oil.
That sounds great.
That sounds about what I'm feeling.
Right
Yeah,
on.
thanks. Yeah, thanks.
On the dim sum cart tonight.
Tomorrow night.
I'm ready.
Who's that? Chef Ka, you
If
ready?
anyone needs more time,
Oh, yeah.
you need more time?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Shall I?
Yes,
Or
please.
unless.
No, please, go ahead.
Mesdames? No. Okay, so I wanted to look at the gobo in the form that I would start to use it. As a whole ingredient, you can conceptualize, but just touching and starting to look at the ingredient itself. I have not worked with gobo a lot, but I would make I would use a mandolin and make some really nice pappardelle noodles, and blanch them not in just water, but a stock, just a very basic onion stock, because I think the allium would highlight this a little bit of actually no, that's not our ingredient.
I know, but you can use it. It's on the table.
I can use it.
It's in your pantry.
I would put a little bit of palm sugar and onion in a broth, cook the pappardelle, but just keep them nice and crunchy, and then make a little paste, a little. So taking these, blending them with the little black garlic. Have you guys had black garlic? It's pungent. It's sweet. It's a lovely product. And so make a little paste at the bottom of the plate. Have the noodles, but then I would make a marinara with the pomegranate. So, I mean, I've done strawberry marinaras, and that was influenced by a David Kinch dish for polenta, but it has that nice tanginess, so it would really go well. You would juice it, reduce it down with some heirloom tomatoes, a little bit of shallots, and some great olive oil, some basil. And finally, with the milk, I would make, actually, now I'm seeing this dish a little bit better. I would also want, with the raw milk, make some really nice milk skins and slice those into noodles. And I think the dish would be room temperature, so that the milk skin would not be, get very, very chewy. So combine the noodles from the gobo with the milk skin and pomegranate marinara, the little garlic, and voila.
Amazing.
That sounds great. So for milk skin, you mean you bring the milk to temperature. As it heats up, you just
Absolutely.
peel off the
Just
skin.
pull off, and
you let
great
it dry.
Exactly. And then slice that.
Sounds great.
Stole my whole idea.
Oh,
This is why you don't let someone
No,
go
you
ahead
did
of
easier
you.
than
Kyle
this.
Connaughton, always too polite.
So I'm going to bake my gobo in salt and just do layers and layers of salt and bake these in there. And like Maxime was saying, sort of make them the focal point of the dish, almost taking the sort of the role of protein that you might see in a dish. So I would do salt bake burdock root with a raw milk and black garlic panna cotta using gelatin and maybe a little bit of a heat-resistant gel, so I can serve the dish warm. A little bit of gelatin gum to sort of hold and bind the gelatin, so we can serve a warm. Normally with panna cottas, we have to serve those cold, but if we want to do a warm dish, so black garlic and raw milk panna cotta. And I chose pomegranate because I'm from California, and these in Northern California during this season are big and beautiful and juicy and red, just like this one. And this is a very Northern California thing to serve at this time of year. But I think for that dish, I would take the juice and actually make a pomegranate molasses. Serve that salt roasted salsa, not salsa, salsa bean, gobo with the black garlic panna cotta, served warm with pomegranate molasses.
Beautiful.
All right. What's going on?
I wanna eat
Dinner
that. I wanna eat that.
Dinner tonight.
And Chef Falkner is sketching right now. It's a
Well,
little
it-
peek
it
into her
helps me,
creative
Think
process.
about how I want to put things together. But what I was thinking is, this is the kulfi. I'm going to just try to show you. Siphon. So I would take the burdock and grate it, and maybe put it with some toasted almonds and the milk. Cook it in the milk with some sweetened condensed milk, and then and make a kulfi. Make a really rich ice cream with it, and have that. I think really, I love the flavor of burdock so much, and I think that would be just really interesting, especially with. I'm like obsessed with the EC thing now. I would make a black garlic siphon cake, and because black garlic is amazing. It's so sweet and beautiful, and I think that could be a really interesting savory and sweet kind of dish with a little pomegranate gastrique or molasses. I would use a little hibiscus with it too, and just really bring out some color
That floral
and the floral
and
notes.
the- yeah.
And I think that sweet, deep space black garlic siphon cake with the kulfi
Deep-based-
and the
deep
richness
space
of
thing.
that, with the burdock and some toasted almonds in there, I think would make it take it into a more grounded place.
Yeah.
And then have that little bit of acid, like a little stripe in here, maybe a couple of pomegranate seeds. I could do that in 20 minutes.
You should all know that we were talking about what this session was going to be like yesterday, and Chef Falkner, perhaps because she is an Iron Chef star, kept insisting, no, we have to make the dish too, right? 20 minutes, we're going to make the dish.
absolutely.
But actually, I think this is an interesting question for all of you. Maybe we can go down the line a little bit. How do you, obviously this was sort of a sprung upon you kind of exercise, but normally speaking, if you had an ingredient that was really inspiring you in the moment, what would your typical approach be? Would you typically go and you'd sit down, you want to sketch something out first and be visual about it? Or I know Kyle, in your past work in a research kitchen, it wouldn't be about that spontaneity all the time. It would
Right.
be more about how you would create charts and think about what things would. Could you maybe talk about those sort of more general like some chefs like to get their hands in it, like they want to feel it, and they feel like something about that helps them, and some want to look at it. So
This just helps me in my own editing. Just drawing it is not necessarily what I'm actually going to end up doing on the plate, but it's like sketching before you paint. And so it helps me organize everything that's going on in my head because I'm thinking about all the possibilities. I'm listening to everybody else's ideas. I'm looking around, and it's just a lot of information that I'm trying to dial down into something reasonable that I can do in a shorter time frame.
right.
I mean, in this context.
Right. And it's almost like a visual prep list then, right? Because you would know, okay, what are the different components going to be, and then you would work on actually producing them.
Because I can tell you after doing a lot of the different competition shows too, and I know it's just television, but sometimes it's like that in our kitchens where you're just really having to improvise and come up with something for whatever reason, or that party of 20 they forgot to tell you about. And
Fired.
right? But like something like, it's much easier for me, at least in my experience, to do something where they at least give us the parameters versus like the chopped version where it's just open it up and go. Because then you really literally have to start cooking and you're just like, oh, I need to edit myself right now.
Right.
So I prefer something like this where I can actually have, even if it's 20 seconds to think about it.
Chef Stuart.
I tend to just go the route first in the creative processes, not thinking so much about the technique that's going to be used or how far out there I can go with it. I try to think about just how delicious is it going to taste, because I know if I can start with that point, then whatever else kind of ensues, I know that I'm going to have a solid dish. Even if it is out there, like black garlic and pomegranate to me it's a stretch. But I can utilize the idea of pomegranate, like a sweet and sour flavor, and black garlic really kind of like strengthening that flavor with the roast on the burdock, and really focusing on that. I think that I taste. I have to taste. I don't know. I mean, there's always the theory of how things are going to work. Utilizing several supporting roles, which is salt, fat, acid, and texture, which is something that I think about every day, and in the creation of a dish. But oftentimes, what will happen is that maybe I'll just make something like a ricotta and not necessarily have a place for it. I like to sleep on ideas often. I also love to just sort of like in the moment go, and those are dishes that tend to be things that are more drawn from my experience and ideas of the past that I know have already, like I'm building on something that's already got great foundation.
Right.
But and it's one of those things we do a lot of where we're like, all right, let's just kind of like, wouldn't this be cool? Da-da-da-da. If it's a wouldn't it be cool if dish, I need like a day to sleep on it. Like I have to like put it on the plate or think about the flavor and then be, all right, tomorrow. Yeah, right? And like that's like taxing,
It's
for
so
me,
much- It's so much like painting to me. I mean, I grew up with my dad's an abstract painter, but I'm constantly feeling like I'm talking about this, like it is like other arts where, or like a musician. You
Yeah.
have like riffs and stuff that you
Yeah.
play, and then
Yeah.
and then you really put it together, and so you're
Right.
constantly painting, like
It's-
drawing
it's-
layers.
it's,
yeah.
yeah.
Reinterpreting and
Yeah, it's an
recreating.
interpretation. It's a dialogue. It's revisiting flavors of the past. It's a season, so that you're
Right.
working within, and you look back at your notes or your menus from
It's
from
the
a year
first
ago.
idea, it's the new idea, it's old ideas,
Yeah.
and putting
Yeah.
it all back together in different ways.
Awesome.
So thank you all so much. I'm so sorry we're out of time. I feel like I could talk about this with you forever, but
I-
they're actually physically going to take me
Are
off
they
the
gonna
stage
take
right
you
now.
off stage? Do we have a couple of minutes? I would love to share. I mean, in terms of R&D,
You're-
because
you have to-
Highland. Anne. no?
Anne is shaking
Anne,
her head
please.
at me.
Could-
20-second soundbite.
2 minutes. All right. Yes.
2
Right.
minutes?
So from the point of view of R&D, it's and because
Can't say no to this guy.
with modernist cuisine and with my work in restaurants, you realize it has to be about. I mean, it's all these different intentions. Are you creating to teach a large audience? I mean, in modernist cuisine, there were a variety of recipes that
Yeah.
approached the different levels and capacities
Yeah.
to teach technique and flavor.
Versus a restaurant.
Exactly.
That you're serving food.
And then in
Yeah,
a restaurant,
yeah.
you, I mean,
Yeah.
you cater to your customers, but you also express your identity. And I love your I just want to end with this, with your sleep idea. I always claim that all my best dishes came in my sleep, and no one believed me. And on my way down here with my chef, head chef of R&D, Andy Nan, we were sleeping at some Holiday Inn Express, driving down from Seattle. And apparently, I woke up in the middle of the night and gave him a whole presentation about my new salmon dish. So, and I was very upset with him. I said, you didn't film me, you didn't take a photo, at least to make fun of me? He said, no, chef, we have to work tomorrow. I went right back to sleep and let you talk. So God knows how much time I talked, but it's proof that my best dishes come in my sleep. So, voila.
Very good.
Thank you all so much.